What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Real Sociedad versus Barcelona in La Liga. We are back 1 week after the devastating loss in El Clasico, where now we have, you could say, an equal level of a tough match away to Sociedad. Of course, on paper, Sociedad are a top 5 team in the league, and we are traveling to their home stadium, which makes the tie even worse than it already is. But a win is needed. We are slowly falling behind the pecking order at the top of the Liga, and we have to win this game to stay on pace and still compete for the league title. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in La Liga, but be wary of the time zone changes. In some countries the time hasn't changed quite yet, like it hasn't in my country yet, but it is at the usual kickoff time, local time, and this match will be taking place at the Anoeta Stadium. Now, you could say at this point the Anoeta curse is kind of broken. We've won a lot there over the past few years, but again, the curse has always kind of been there, but it's always something to look back on when you come to these type of matches. But again, Anoeta, as we all know, from like 2010 until now, we've lost more than we won at this stadium. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be Javier Rojas, and on the VAR, it will be Carlos Cicero Grande. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat in 4th place in La Liga on 24 points. After playing 11 matches, we have 7 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. Now, with that 1 loss being there, it's an absolutely shocking record in the first 11 games. Top of the table is Real Madrid on 28 points. After playing 11 matches, they have 9 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, the exact same record as second place Girona, who of course are behind by 3 goal difference. Now, Atletico Madrid are in 3rd place on 25 points, but they do have a game in hand. That game in hand is against Sevilla at home, that was postponed a few weeks ago due to weather conditions. If they win that game, they're on 28 points as well. So you have 3 teams essentially on the exact same record, and you could say Barcelona is 4 points behind all 3 of them: Real Madrid, Girona, and Atletico. Now, it is important to keep in mind that in about a month's time, we will play both Girona and Atletico Madrid back to back at the Montjuic Stadium. Those are going to be 2 absolutely pivotal matchups, so you want to keep up the pace now. Maybe they drop off in some of these games in the next month. Of course, you have 1 game, another game before the international break, maybe 2 league games afterwards. So in these next 3 games, maybe they could be somewhere of a slip up. But again, it's not all lost for Barcelona. 4 points behind. You still have that little Clasico later down the line. We still have a lot of league games to play, but being the worst out of the top 4 right now doesn't really bode well for us. Now, if you take a look at the top teams and who they'll be facing this weekend, Atletico Madrid will be traveling to Las Palmas. I think that match is actually taking place today, so we'll probably get a good idea of what the league table actually looks like later on today. Then we have the big match of the weekend, which you could say, and it is Girona traveling to Osasuna. That can be a bananas king game for Girona, and hopefully Barcelona are there to capitalize. And finally, Real Madrid will be hosting Rayo Vallecano. That should be easy 3 points for them. So again, we are behind, but the league is not fully lost yet. Still a lot of games to go. But again, we are right now in 4th place, and we are the worst out of the top 4 sides at the moment. But now is the time to make that bounce back. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Real Sociedad and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat in 5th place in La Liga on 19 points. After playing 11 matches, they have 5 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. Of course, Barcelona are in 4th. They're only 1 place below us, but there is a 5-point difference. You could say the top 4 is kind of in its league in its own, and then 5th, 6th, and 7th is kind of in a battle of its own as well. You can see Athletic Club on 18, Real Betis on 17, so everyone's kind of having their own kind of group categories at the moment. But on paper, Sociedad not far off by Barcelona in the league table, just 1 position. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Real Sociedad. Over the past 10 years, they've been one of the top teams in La Liga, competing for Champions League spots, winning domestic competitions as well. They're a very, very good team. Now, the last time we faced them in all competition was last season, the second last match at the Spotify Camp Nou, where we did end up losing 2-1. Now, I was at this game. Of course, the vlog is on the channel if you want to go take a look at it. Remember this game very well. It's one of the few games I've seen at the Camp Nou. We were at a point where we won the league. We're just trying to go through the motions. Busquets announced he was leaving. Jordi Alba said he was going to leave as well. So we're just going through the ages and trying to, you know, wrap up the season as soon as possible. And of course, Sociedad were fighting for their lives to get in the Champions League spot. They scored us 2 goals in this game, one very early on the first half and then one later on in the second half. Lewandowski pulled back one back near the end of the game. Jules Koundé had an absolutely shocking first half, and also Barcelona didn't really create too much in this match. So again, where the timing of this game came in didn't really benefit Barcelona too much, but I also want to highlight the last time we played at the Anoeta, and it was the second match of last season where Barcelona dominated and won 4-1. We actually went up very early. Lewandowski scored the first goal of the season, assist by Alejandro Balde. Alexander Isak, the Newcastle striker, pulled one back immediately. I think he left Sociedad like a week after this game, and then Barcelona were in cruise control in that second half, getting 3 goals in the space of around 10 minutes. Dembele, Ansu, and of course Lewandowski pulling up again. With of course the shock news of this game was Ferran Torres starting after not playing preseason whatsoever. It was kind of wild, but again, it was Araujo right back in this game as well. Midfield 3 of Pedri, Gavi, and De Jong, which you don't really see too often nowadays. But again, the domination was there. We controlled the game, especially seeing out that tough part after Isak scored about 10-20 minutes afterwards. David Silva, I remember, missed a big chance going into the second half as well. It was a great save by Ter Stegen. So again, it is difficult, but the job can definitely be accomplished. Now, if you take a look at Real Sociedad's last 6 matches in all competition, in the last match they won the Copa del Rey final round 1-0. They drew 2-2 with Rayo Vallecano. They beat Benfica 1-0 in Portugal. They beat Mallorca 1-0. They lost to Atletico Madrid 2-1, and they beat RB Salzburg in the Champions League 2-0. Now I want to sort of highlight real quickly that Real Sociedad have so far played both Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid this season, both away from home, and they also lost both narrowly 2-1. I remember the Madrid game, they went 1-0 up, I believe. The Madrid pulled it back. In the Atletico Madrid game, they brought it back to 1-1. They end up losing. So I guess the top teams so far this season, Sociedad have been doing fairly well. So let's take a look at their some of the last 3 matches, all competition. Again, I want to talk about the Copa del Rey. They rotated, of course. They did play midweek, so that's something to take into account. I think Zubamendi came off the bench. Elizondo started at in defense. Adriano started as well. Apart from that, all the other first team players were rested. So let's first take a look at that 2-1 loss against Atletico Madrid. And again, this match they were competing. Again, they're away from home, so already gives Atletico Madrid the advantage. It took, I think, a hard-fought Atletico Madrid win. I think Atletico Madrid won this game by a penalty as well, if I'm not mistaken. It was a late goal by Griezmann. I don't know if it was a penalty or not. You can see their formation on the screen: 4-4-2, quality team. You can see on the pitch: Moreno, Zubamendi double pivot, Benengale out left, Brais Mendes out right, who's playing so well. Oyarzabal up striker, their captain. Take Kubo playing well. It is a very strong team. They put a well-fought fight as well. In the end, they did lose 2-1. Next up is their 1-0 win against Benfica. And I have to highlight that Real Sociedad here had an absolutely unbelievable game. Keep in mind, we played Benfica, 2 seasons ago? Where, you know, we struggled. We lost 3-0 away. We drew 0-0 at home, I think, in Xavi's first Champions League game as the manager. But Sociedad in this game dominated. They had an absolutely masterclass of performance. They absolutely dominated the game, had so many chances. They only scored 1. It was a great goal by Brais Mendes as well. And again, you can see their formation, the 4-4-2, similar personnel as well. It is such a strong, well-organized team. In the end, they put themselves on the map in this game with an absolutely fantastic display, winning 1-0 in the Champions League. Again, I have to highlight away at Benfica, and the last match of all competition was a 2-2 draw away to Rayo Vallecano. Now, they were dominating this game. They went 1-0 up. I think Vallecano brought it back to 1-1, then they brought it back to 2-1 Sociedad, and then they end up conceding an absolute golazo in the final seconds of this game. So you could say for the majority of the game, they were dominating. Again, they made a few rotations after that midweek game, but again, it's still a strong side. If you look at the personnel, all names that you've heard about, all the similar players that we've been coming up against from Real Sociedad over the past few years, it is such a good team on paper, well organized as well, but in the end, it wasn't enough to get the 3 points, and they only took away 1 point. So overall, final thoughts on Real Sociedad. They're a very good side, and they're very well managed by their manager Emmanuel Alguacil, who's kind of a club legend for them. He's been there as a manager now for the past few seasons. He's gotten them historic results, won them the Copa del Rey, getting them into the Champions League. Very good manager, but I would say his record against Barcelona is fairly poor. I think that Camp Nou win was probably his first win as the Sociedad manager against Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we played them also in the Copa del Rey last season. Quarterfinals at the Camp Nou, we won 1-0 with the Dembele goal as well. So again, you could say against Barcelona, he doesn't do that great, but again, the danger is there. The chance to win this game is certainly on the table. Now, in terms of players to look out for, there's of course quite a few. Keep your eyes on Zubimendi. Again, this is the player that Xavi really wants. It's a player that I want at the club as well, and he's going to be a very, very good player for them. You have their defense, of course, Lenomar at center back, Elistondo. I don't know if Oyarzabal will start this game or not. Or not Oyarzabal, sorry, or Odriozola at right back. Oyarzabal will definitely start their captain up front with Take Kubo, Brais Mendes, of course, Berenguer on the left as well. Alex Ramiro in goal, very, very strong goalkeeper as well. It is a very, very good side. The fact that you know all their players, you know their bench players, shows how good of a team this is. Of course, Oyarzabal has been causing us some horror for the past 10-15 years. I remember when he broke out as a 17-18-year-old, and now he's a veteran. It just shows how old I am, but this is the type of players that we're dealing with. Of course, Take Kubo is having an unbelievable season as well, former Barcelona player as well. So the danger is there, again, for Barcelona, especially playing away from home. I cannot stress this enough. The clinicality of the chances have to be there. If you get 2 chances, it's got to be 2 goals. We're at a point now where if you create 4 chances and only score 1, you're leaving the floodgates open for Sociedad. Again, on the counterattack at home, they are lethal as well. So Barcelona have to control that midfield, and again, for the love of God, finish the chances that are created, because we know that Barcelona against any team in the world will create chances. It's just now down to being clinical and, of course, having that strong defense as well. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Balde, Araujo, Martinez, Gavi, Ferran, Pedri, Lewandowski, Raphinha, Inaki, Peña, Joao Felix, Christensen, Alonso, Romeu, Gundogan, Koundé, Astrolaga, Lamine Yamal, Casado, and Fermin Lopez. Of course, the big inclusion. Finally, Pedri is back. He has received the medical green light this morning. It is at 100% to face Sociedad, but no Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong, we're hearing reports this morning, he did not train very well. He had some pain, so therefore he is not ready quite yet to be included in the squad list. And of course, again, sorry, Capi, Gilberto, no one cares about him, but he is still out injured. So we've gone for about 7 to 8 injuries, and now only 2, only Frankie and Roberto are out. Apart from that, everyone else is included. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. This press conference this morning, of course, he's asked a lot of questions by the media on the Gundogan situation, injuries, Ballon d'Ors, his future, the importance of this match. Let's get and see what the Gav had to say this morning in the presser. He came out saying that we all agree with Gundogan. We lost El Clasico due to our mistakes. Of course, addressing the Gundogan quotes. The thing about Gundogan was discussed in the dressing room, and there is no problem. That is it. The situation now is officially dead. Then talked about Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad is a team that plays football very well. Tomorrow we have a high level test. We have to react and get the 3 points. Then as of course on the injuries, saying that Pedri has met the deadline. He is now available at 100%. He has trained very well and is ready to play. It is great news for the team, and Pedri is a fundamental player for me. Then he was asked on De Jong, and De Jong will return depending on how he feels, just as Pedri has great feelings and he's already got himself the medical green light. De Jong hasn't yet. He has tried everything, but he still feels pain, so we have to wait and see. There are reports saying that De Jong will return after their national break, so he won't play against Shakhtar midweek and also Alaves next weekend as well. Then as on Romeu, saying that we have talked to Romeu and made individual videos for him. He's doing good work, but there is a lot of competition, and this is about performances. The one who is better is the one who will play. The one who plays the best is the one who will play, but OEL is very important for the squad. It's very important that veteran players pull the car when things go well, and when things go badly, even more so. We are lucky to have a healthy and competitive dressing room. The demand of the club is welcome. The captains have experience, and the team is very hungry. There are bumps during the season and things do not work out, or they do work out in the game but not in the result, or the other way around, but I see the team very prepared. Then is asked on Take Kubo, you could say Sociedad's biggest threat. Kubo is one of the most differential players at Real Sociedad. We don't have to let him think. He's a very, very high level of footballer. And finally, Xavi was asked on the fitness of other players as well. This whole entire press conference was just basically different journalists from around the world asking Xavi about injuries. Xavi was getting pissed off about it. But anyway, included all by saying that Lewandowski and Raphinha entered the Clasico well. They're already having good feelings at 100% and their injuries are forgotten. We are with everyone except Frankie and Sergi, so very good news for the squad. He also congratulated both Messi and Aitana on winning the Ballon d'Or last Monday, and that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction and the match against Real Sociedad tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it's actually fairly simple to predict, barring, of course, maybe one or two changes. And I think that Xavi Hernandez will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Araujo, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Gundogan, Gavi, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Ferran Torres, Robert Lewandowski, and Joao Felix. Anything other than this lineup, I will be genuinely surprised. Where I can see changes, he might start maybe Lamine Yamal or Raphinha instead of Lewandowski and have Ferran as the outgoing 9. I think that midfield 3 is concrete. I cannot see anything changing there. They played very well against Madrid. And in defense, we could see Inigo Martinez keep his place, but again, he played all 3 of the last games back to back. Could use a bit of a rest. I would want to rest Cancelo. I think Xavi would want to as well, but there's no one really there. You can't really put Koundé there after not playing there for months and months and months. Again, I'm struggling to see what lineup it could be other than this team. I mean, you could make the case for starting Koundé at center back with Araujo. You could make the case with Inigo Martinez starting. Alejandro Balde is definitely going to start. Ter Stegen is definitely going to start. So anything other than this lineup, I would be genuinely surprised. I think this would be a lineup Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach. And now this has become a rarity, but I have picked the exact same lineup that I think that Xavi will select for this match. And I do agree. I was thinking about putting Koundé at right back, but he hasn't played there in a long time. He's just coming back from injury. It is a massive risk, and honestly speaking, you can't make any changes anywhere else. I'd be very, very happy with this lineup. I think it's a strong lineup, balanced lineup, and definitely can get a result against Sociedad as well. It's not a weakened team. It's not a rotated team. It's pretty much the strongest team, essentially, that we can put out there, and I'm very, very happy with it. You could, again, make the case Inigo coming in. You could maybe say start Lamine Yamal, but I think I want Lamine Yamal, Raphinha on the bench. Again, I think they provide that X factor off the bench as well. So I'm not going to dwell too much. I would pick the same lineup as Xavi, and that's the lineup that I was like for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you agree with Xavi, my lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think it will be a narrow, and I mean narrow, victory for Barcelona. I have gone Barcelona win this match by 1-0. It could be 2-1 as well. It was well in between 2-1 and 1-0, but I backed the boys to get the clean sheet, get the 1 goal they need. Again, this could be a bloodbath. I think if Sociedad score first, we're getting a draw at best. I think Sociedad scoring first is so detrimental because they will drop the heads will drop, the pressure from the stadium will be there. We cannot let Sociedad score first. That would be my one advice to the players and Xavi. Again, it comes down to how Sociedad play on the day, how Barcelona play after that Clasico loss. I back the boys to win this game because they have to. We're at a point now where we're 4 points behind. The teams ahead of us have fairly simple games coming up until they face us again. So it's about pressure. And again, we're going to go into this match knowing the result for Atletico Madrid game, and it's going to be a telling to see if this will impact Barcelona or not. Again, it's a difficult game, but I expect the boys to get the job over the line. I don't think we'll lose. I think a draw is definitely the most probable scenario outcome of this game, but I back Barcelona to win this game, and I back the manager and the players, and I have gone Barcelona to win this match by 1-0. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score line will be. So that was my match preview for Real Sociedad versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing, firstly, of course, is your score prediction. And secondly, on the lineups, firstly, do you agree with my lineup and Xavi's lineups as well? What would you pick if you were the manager? What do you think Xavi will select? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow straight after the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Huge game ahead. Nothing but the 3 points. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.